Leicester Till I Die podcasts on the Apple iTunes, Spotify, Google, Anchor, and all podcast platforms.
You are watching Leicester Till I Die TV with Chris and Chumps. YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Pinterest. All you need for everything Leicester City FC. It's Leicester Till I Die TV.
Strap yourself in, because we're set up, switched on, and ready to go.
Hi everybody, Jerry Taggart here. Now be sure to watch Chris and Leicester Till I Die TV by subscribing on YouTube and following them on social media for all the latest Leicester City news and information. Come on you foxes!
Hello fellow Fox fans, it is Sunday afternoon. It is FA Cup weekend and you're watching Leicester Till I Die TV. And you can catch us live on YouTube on Leicester Till I Die TV, Twitter and Periscope at Leicester TID, Facebook, the group, obviously Leicester Till I Die. Please get your comments in. Let us know what you think about that team lineup. It's a little bit different. Wasn't what I was expecting. And if you want to catch us up after the show on podcast, we're on all your favourite podcast platforms, including Google, Apple iTunes, Spotify and Anchor. It's Leicester Till I Die. And this is a Leicester Till I Die TV. Well, let's have a look at the team and let's bring my pre-match colleague in, Josh. Hello, Josh.
Afternoon, Chris. You right, pal?
Yeah, not so bad, mate. How are you?
Yeah, pretty much sums it up. That does. I've got to drive to Skegness for work in the morning, so I'm not looking forward to it. But other than that, all good, mate.
You have my sympathy. Apparently, it's snowing at Brentford as well. But it snowed. Apparently, it has stopped down there in Brentford now. Apparently,
right.
But so it's FA Cup fourth round. Are you feeling this?
I am, mate. Yeah, and it'll be a good game, to be honest. Brentford are a cracking side. They're doing well in the Championship again. I think they're unbeaten in God knows how many now. So it'll be a good matchup this week. You know, we're both on really good runs of form at the minute. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it, mate.
They are actually third. Obviously, it's the same as we are. We'll bring the lineup up in a second. Surprised at the lineup. I mean, it is not. He's not gone as strong as I thought he might do, but we have got a match on Wednesday. Wednesday.
Yeah, like you said, mate, it's one of them really where I suppose had this been a game later on in the FA Cup, maybe quarterfinals or so, Brendan can't really win either way, really. If he drops certain players, it's, well, why didn't you go strong? If he goes a strong lineup and then players get injured, it's a case of, well, why didn't you put a fringe team out? You know, it's it's one of them, really. But yeah, I think I don't really want to say we'll have enough to win because it's tempting fate, really. But it's FA Cup, mate. Anything can happen.
I'm going to say good afternoon to Facebook user giving you about you're okay, Josh. No snow. Lincoln so Skeg should be fine for your work. So
Damn, fingers crossed, touch wood, eh?
yeah. Hello from sunny Dawlish. You can go off people, you know. You haven't put your name down there, but we could go off you anyway. That said, I must admit, I'm on the south coast here, as you know. I'm in Poole, and if I open the blinds, I have got sun outside. You know, I can't complain. Lee, good afternoon, Lee. Hey up, lads. Good lineup, nice bench, and good chance to rest a few players. It is. Let's have a look, because after how he went against Stoke. And Stoke, in fairness, were lower down the league than Brentford were. Therefore, you would tend to say Brentford is probably the stronger game or the more difficult game because of where they are. And I mean, let's just have a look. Like, I mean, you alluded to the form. I mean, between us and them, we've not, either of us have lost in 6. We've drawn 1 extra, but they've won 5 of their last 6.
Yeah, exactly, mate. They're a cracking side, and I think, to be honest, they were. I know they got beat in the semis of the play. I know they beat final last season in the playoffs, weren't it? Fulham beat them. They're always there or thereabouts in the Championship, and they seem to, like us, really. They sort of sell one of the major players, and then they manage to replace them with somebody comes in and does equally as good, really. So I think there's a lot of similarities in both clubs, really. I know, obviously, they ain't really got the history that we've got now. But yeah, he's one of them, mate. I think it could go either way today. I think personally.
Yeah. And I mean, they only got knocked out by Tottenham in the quarter-finals of the League Cup, and they managed, I think, prior to that, knock out either 2 or 3 Premier League teams on the way to that. All right, they might not have been full strength. Like you say, Brendan is buggered if he does, buggered if he doesn't, basically. But like I say, I mean, he went literally for a first 11, I felt, against Stoke. That said, I mean, let's have a look at the team, because that said, even though it's probably not what we would call full strength, it doesn't look bad, does it? I mean, you've got Ward back in goal, who I thought you'd go for against Stoke, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's surprising. Like you say, surprising he didn't start Ward against Stoke, because he's seen as obviously as the cup keeper, and I think it's a game where he'd looked at it and thought, well, I should be starting that, really. You know, Casper obviously plays a lot of games for us, and he's very rarely dropped unless it is like I say, it is a cup game. It's nice to have Ricardo, Soyuncu back. I think this sort of game's come at the ideal time for them, really. It'll be a nice sort of game to ease them into it. I mean, no disrespect on Brentford at all, but I think if you are to bring them back for like sort of a first game back starting after an injury, the FA Cup's an ideal. It's an ideal opportunity to do it. Understarted, I think that's good. I think again, it's nice to give Albrighton a rest, because he's played fantastic the last few games for us, and I think obviously he's getting on in football in years anyway. I don't want to say too much, because he's only a couple of years older than me, so I don't want to say he's old.
But I know what you mean, though. But I mean, I said on the last couple of shows, Albrighton, I thought Under was going to come in, and I thought he would be starting with Albrighton coming on. You know, at the end when the opposition's a bit tired. But I want to take my hat off to Albrighton. It's like having a new signing this year. He is playing out of his skin, and quite rightly keeping Under out of the side. But like you say,
I think you're on, mate. I think that's probably what sort of Brendan were expecting as well, bringing Under in, because I think the majority of his Leicester fans expected Under to be starting nearly every game. But again, like you say, Albrighton's performances have just, I know Under's been injured slightly as well the last few weeks, but Albrighton's kept him out of the side, and rightly so, because he's been one of our better players so far this season, definitely.
Yeah. And Tielemans, Maddison, no changes there in the centre mid.
I think I'm surprised they're starting, really. I thought Iheanacho would start, and I thought Perez might sit in the sort of Maddison role, which obviously it's not happened. Like you say, with Everton coming up, I'm surprised they are starting. I would expect them to play the majority. You say that, but you don't know what's going to happen in the match, do you? But I'd be surprised if they played most of the game, put it that way, with, like you say, with Everton coming up in another massive Premier League game. So it's a good midfield. I think it's right.
Barnes on the left there.
Yeah,
normal position.
That's the thing, mate. I think again, I'm surprised he's starting, and I'm not surprised because he's got a good engine on him, and he very, very rarely ties in games. He's always pretty much fully fit. So, like you said, it's stronger than I thought it was going to be, but it's not. If that makes sense, do you know what I mean? I think I'm with you on that. I thought Amati would start with Soyuncu at centre back. I thought Johnny Evans and Fafard definitely needed a rest. So.
Yeah, and Mendy there in the old Ndidi role. I think again that's probably just playing safe. And to be honest with you, Mendy's far from let us down when called upon.
Yeah, exactly. It's a shame he's had to be dropped, really. But when Ndidi's pivotal to how we play and the way he nicks the ball back, recycles the ball quickly, and he very, very rarely misses a challenge, so to speak. But yeah, like it's bad. It's unfair on Mendy, but it's not. So like I say, when Ndidi comes back, you can never drop him. But having said that, Mendy, when he started the season superbly for us, and he didn't put a foot wrong. It's just unfortunate that obviously in his position we've got one of the best CDMs in world football for me personally.
Yeah. I mean, Amati, Mendy, and Under, it literally, well, not necessarily Under, but Amati and Mendy, it is like having two new signings this year.
Yeah, definitely. And I know you like Amati as well, and I'm the same because again, he's a player that is very versatile and he can play anywhere really. He's I think for his national team, he's played centre back and he's won like centre back of the tournaments he's played in, and you can play him right back, you can play the CDM. So again, he's a good player to have, Amati.
I think Amati and Mendy, I don't know. I know Mendy, I think we've just signed him for an extra year. I think my thing is get him tying down both of them to a longer contract. Brad's come in there and said not often you see a lot of changes for a cup game. yeah. But I've misread that. Not often you see a lot of change for a cup game and still look like a very strong team. We do, don't we? Like you said, we've made those changes. Ricardo, we know what he can do. It still looks a strong team.
Yeah, definitely. And like I've said for the last few weeks as well, like strength and depth's astonishing really at the minute. And like you say, to be able to take Justin and Castagna out and bring Ricardo in. I know Luke Thomas is starting as well, which I'm pleased about. I think he'd be nice to see him get a bit of game time. It is a strong lineup, and like you say, it's nice to see Brendan take it seriously because the thing is, it's what's he say? Sorry, Tyson Fury.
Are you going for the Tyson Fury?
I'll show you quickly. It has all gone.
Be careful, Brad. If he is going for that look, he'll come and flatten you. I'm not going to lie, Brad. My money's on Josh.
I'm a lover, not a fighter, mate. Don't worry. Yeah, I mean, like you say, it's Man City against Cheltenham last night. That was closer than what many people thought. So there's no easy games in the FA Cup, and I think later on the stages you go, you have got to start taking it seriously because it's a competition. Realistically, we can do well in this season.
Yeah. Well, we proved it last year. We got through to the quarters, and it is even more exciting now because, as Brentford have shown, no replays in any of the cups this season.
Exactly.
So it is a one-off game. So where before the lower league clubs can get a good result, knowing that they'll probably go back to the the Premier League ground and get a stuff in. They know that if they go for it, they've got it.
Yeah, I think the lower league teams so far in the FA Cup put up a really good showing as well, and they ain't scared to have a go at teams. Like I said, I'd bring it back to the Cheltenham game last night, Man City, and how tight that was, and for Man City to just win that in the last 10 minutes, really, it just showed that literally anything can happen.
Yeah. Tony, good afternoon. How are you doing, sir? Let's see if Under grabs this opportunity. Good morning from Chicago. Windy Chicago, I would imagine. It is the Windy City, isn't it? Probably not unlike us a little bit at the moment, if I'm guessing right. It is like Under, like you say, he has got his chance. I think it's always unfair, and I'm as guilty as anybody else. And I've been wanting Under in for as long as I can, remember. Like I say, and then all Brighton's come along. But one game isn't going to make or break a player, is it really? I mean, we're expecting a lot of him, but just because he's got the one game, it doesn't mean he's suddenly going to turn into Messi.
Yeah, I think so far for me personally, he's shown enough to warrant more starts. But as we both said, Albrighton's been more or less undroppable, really. So I don't think it's through no fault of his own unders that he hasn't been getting games. Like I say, I know he's been injured, so that's obviously kept him out. I'll reserve judgments on whether we should probably sign him fully or not. Depending on how we get on this season, whether there's more European football next season, I think it could be a good addition. But I'd say he probably needs a few more starts and a few more appearances before I'd say definitely sign him. But I think he has showed promise in the games he's come on, definitely.
Yeah, and it wasn't, I'm sure, Brendan, as in Brendan Rodgers, but the Brendan that's just posted that disgusting comment has just been blocked. So he doesn't get to come up, mate. I check everything that goes up first. So you did yourself no favors there, Lee. Is Laura talking to you yet, lad? Hey, let's not go there. We're not. We're not going to turn this into relate.
I will say only just, I think my family have only just sort of got over the shaved head look. So
is it the shaved head? Is it?
Yeah, it's not gone down very well. It has with the youngest; she loves it, but my eldest daughter and the missus didn't take to it very well. So,
but well. Looking up front, it is Perez. It's not Inacho, which is a big surprise for me because, like you say, as in Ward always used to start the cup games, Inacho usually used to start the cup games. This time last year, deja vu, we were playing at Brentford. We won 1-0 with the golden duck egg of an Inacho goal after 4 minutes. Perez up front, is that a surprise?
It is. I think it's sort of a good indicator as to where Brendan rates Iheanacho now. To be honest, as I said, I thought Maddison might get a rest today with Perez playing there and Iheanacho up top, and obviously that's not the case. I think it might be Brendan sort of saying as well that obviously with Vardy out for the next few weeks and touch wood, it's not longer. I think we are looking to bring in another striker on loan, albeit, but I think it might be a bit of a marker to say by Brendan, listen, we probably need to bring in another striker here because Iheanacho's not cutting it. We know Perez can play up top, and like I say, I'm a big Perez fan, as you know, mate, and hopefully he does well today.
Well, let's hope we all do well. And I mean, looking at the bench, I mean, if we need to. I mean, you've got, oh my God, Jupukovic. Welcome back, mate. I thought he'd done the old magician's assistant job and disappeared. But you look at that bench: Fofana, Evans, Castagna, Justin, Ndidi, even Chowdhury does a job for us. Albrighton and Iheanacho. That's a bloody strong bench to say we've still got a strong team out.
Yeah, really strong, mate. Really strong. Hopefully, we won't really have to bring on the big players, so to speak, today, and hopefully they'll get a good rest for the Everton game because this early in the FA Cup, obviously you want to win every game, but I'm with you on this, Chris. I'm sort of the opinion where if we get beat, we get beat really. In the FA Cup, I mean, do you know what I mean? And obviously, the later you go on, the more you want to progress in the cup. I'd rather not have to bring on the bigger players, so to speak, because Everton's a massive game on is it Wednesday? It's Wednesday, isn't it? So like you said, mate, it's a strong bench and we're in a good position. Player-wise, we're in the best position we've been in a long time.
Yeah, and like you say, I think we all agree that is a team chosen with Wednesday in mind. Which, in fairness, against Stoke, he didn't have that problem.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and you could see why against Stoke, he sort of, like you say, he put out more or less. They were pretty much the first 11, really, weren't it? So
yeah. Well, we're going to kick off is in 20 minutes, so we're going to all go get our favourite beverage, sit down and watch whatever platform you're going to be watching on. It is live on BT Sport. Predictions now. I'm going to go have a quick look at predictions. Steve Walsh, the X-Foxes on www.leicestertillidie.com/predictions. You can see how the X-Foxes are doing. Today, Steve Walsh has gone for a 2-0 Leicester. Steve Lynix 1-0 Leicester. Ian Marshall 3-1 Leicester. And I must admit, in fairness, this was before I knew Vardy was out. I went 3-0 Leicester. What are you going to go for, Joe?
I think it's going to be close, mate. I think it'll be a draw after extra time, and I think we'll go through on penalties.
Don't do that to me.
I'll say 2-2. I'll say 2-2 at full time and after extra time, and then penalties. I think we'll go through.
Oh, mate, you know I've got heart problems, don't you?
I know, yeah, sorry.
Don't do that to me, mate. Thanks very much for joining us as always. Let's hope whatever the result, it's a Foxes win.
Fingers crossed, mate. Cheers, Chris. Enjoy the game, pal. And
you as well, and I'll see you on Wednesday pre-match.
Sam, mate, I look forward to it, bud. Cheers, mate.
Take care, mate. All the best.
See you later, pal. Ta-ra, buddy.
Bye-bye. So thanks to Josh for joining us there. Let's go get ready for the match. Like I say, is it the magic of the cup? Will we be through into the 5th round draw where we're going to have Brighton, of course, because Brighton knocked out Blackpool the other night. So we've got a home trip, I believe it is, against Brighton in the next round. Jamie, good evening, Jamie. You've gone 2-0 Leicester. We can hope that we're going to get a Leicester win. I will see you 40 minutes after the final whistle, where I will be joined by Brad, and we will be having the post-match show. Hope you're well. Stay safe. Enjoy the game. And let's hope we're looking forward to a nice chat afterwards about the Leicester win. Don't forget, if you want to catch us on Catch Up, it's Leicester Till I Die TV on YouTube, or it's Leicester Till I Die on your favourite podcast, including Apple iTunes, Spotify, Anchor and Google. See you after the match. Stay safe.
Leicester Till I Die podcasts on the Apple iTunes, Spotify, Google, Anchor, and all podcast platforms.
Thanks for watching Leicester Till I Die. This is Chris saying goodbye and see you next time.